Coming up on Mustang News, over the weekend, Sleep in Heavenly Peace built 125 beds for local children in need.
And how one of the Central Coast's biggest yoga groups is experiencing changes to leadership on the mat.
And a club right here on campus is making it their mission to build the most efficient electric car in the world.
Broadcasting from Swanson Studios, you're watching Mustang News.
Hello and welcome to Mustang News. I'm Aneka Edwards.
And I'm Bunker King. Now, let's get into today's top stories.
See how ASI and CIX collaborated to showcase diverse voices on campus. Reporter Amirah Gutierrez has the story.
On February 25th, ASI and CIX hosted their inaugural Rooted in Unity event in Chumash Auditorium.
We often talk about community as if it is something that just happens automatically, like if just being on the same campus makes us connected. But community is something we have to practice.
The event featured a diverse panel of students, staff, and faculty, while the discussion focused on their different identities and experiences on Cal Poly campus, as well as how each of them practice intentional and impactful leadership, with opening statements from ASI Secretary of DEI and Justice, Andy Fernandez-Ortiz, ASI President Mark Cabaliza, and the Associate Vice President of Culture and Institutional Excellence, Dr. Bea Makakau. CIX stated that they were excited to collaborate with ASI in an opportunity to reach the broader student community and engage them in conversations about belonging and cultural change at Cal Poly. Panelists touched on a number of personal experiences and subjects.
We're supposed to be able to see our peers and turn to the person next to us, no matter their background, what they look like, who they may be, and be able to feel a sense of belonging.
As the spearhead of the event, Addy explained her intention behind the panel.
I want to help ASI better reflect the student body we serve and to ensure it is truly a program by students that works for students.
We can be the beginning of community. We can build amongst ourselves, if we so choose, one of intentional collective power.
Amirah Gutierrez, Mustang News TV.
To stay updated with future events like this, follow Cal Poly ASI and Cal Poly CIX on Instagram.
This past Saturday, volunteers gathered together to help Sleep in Heavenly Peace build beds for local children in need. Marcos Portera has the story.
Over the weekend at the Home Depot in San Luis Obispo, Sleep in Heavenly Peace built 125 beds for local children in need.
Sleep in Heavenly Peace is a national nonprofit that builds beds and delivers them to kids ages 3 to 17 that don't have beds of their own and are sleeping on the floor, on a couch, on an air mattress, in shared beds.
At this event, volunteers worked on measuring, cutting, sanding, drilling, and branding elements of the bed before sending them off to finish being built.
It's great, you know, I grew up in a poor family, so, you know, I always had to share a bed with my older brother. I always got hand-me-downs, so, you know, giving like these free beds to like these people, these children that really need them, like I think it's fantastic.
We do not currently have a chapter that serves San Luis Obispo County. There's definitely a need. Our estimates based on census poverty data is that there's over 6,000 children in San Luis Obispo County that live at or below the poverty level. So there's a good chance that those kids also are in need of a bed.
Grant explains how someone can start a much-needed Sleep in Heavenly Peace chapter here in San Luis Obispo.
Anyone who is interested in getting more information, all they need to do is go on our website. There's a button to click that says Start a Chapter. They'll fill out a very simple interest form. I'll contact them. I'll answer all their questions. If that sounds like something that they're willing to do, we'll get in touch. We send them off to training, and then they get to start their own chapter.
Reporting for Mustang News, I'm Marcos Portera.
If you're interested in starting a Sleep in Heavenly Peace chapter here in SLO or volunteering for a future event, go to shpbeds.org.
And after the break, Katie Clark's got your Cal Poly Sports update.
Mom was always organized, but she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over.
Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together.
It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Dímelo, mi gente, it's Friday night y estamos activos. Head out early. Drinks flowing till 11 p.m. It's gonna be lit.
No sé qué pasó. I didn't even drink that much.
Welcome back. Now over to Katy Clark with your Cal Poly Sports Update.
Thanks, Aneka. From the courts to the diamond, let's recap this past week in Mustang sports. Cal Poly baseball ended the home series against the Washington State University Cougars in a tie after taking the first 2 games in the series opener. The Mustangs got 9 runs and the Cougars did not get any. Griffin Nace threw a near-perfect game, ending the day with 14 strikeouts. The baseball's offense had 13 hits during the game. The second game was less dominant for the Mustangs, who won 3-2 after a wild pitch by the Cougars in the 10th inning. They had 12 hits during the game. The Mustangs' third and fourth game, they fell to the Cougars. The Mustangs lost to the University of Hawaii 54-71, marking their 12th straight loss. They gave up 20 turnovers, double the number given up by their opponents. The Mustangs started with a 6-0 lead, but Hawaii quickly took dominance of the court. The Mustangs had 13 offensive rebounds and 20 defensive rebounds. Freshman forward Cherish Thompson had 22 points, followed by sophomore forward Avery Knapp, who had 13 points. The Mustangs will take on Long Beach State today at 6 p.m. in the Walter Pyramid. The Mustangs defeated Santa Clara on Tuesday 5-4 in the first game of the doubleheader, according to GoPoly.com. They would end up splitting the day with Santa Clara defeating the Mustangs 3-0. The first game, the Mustangs had a 3-run second inning with an RBI triple hit by shortstop Maddie Bohannon and an RBI single by Maddie Bermudez. Bohannon had another RBI later in the game, allowing pinch hitter Ali Barrios to score, and Sienna Erskine's double brought them up to 5 runs. The second game, the Mustangs had 4 hits and stranded 10 runners. That's all I have for Mustang News Sports Updates. Back to you, Aneka.
One of the biggest yoga groups across the Central Coast, Shell Beach Sunset Yoga, has announced a change in instructors, marking a transition for the longtime Coastal studio. The shift comes as the organization prepares to welcome new leadership to the mat.
He's been a part of the community for as long as I've been here and longer, and so he really just feels like a natural next step for the community, you know, moving on from Shannon. I think that it's just kind of a good fit.
This is long-term participant Sam, one of the thousands of members a part of the Sunset Yoga community group on Shell Beach, who, like others around him, is optimistic in the change in leadership.
Hi, I'm Mark McCormick. I'm a yoga teacher and I teach outdoor yoga here in Shell Beach. I try to make it a community-based, all levels class, so I think for people it's kind of chill, and people, I think, are really enjoying the outdoors and the community as much as they're enjoying the yoga.
The beginnings of this class didn't launch with Mark, however. It started with Shannon Bailey, the original founder who just recently moved to Vietnam.
I'm so excited for him to take over the class, and I know that so many are going to enjoy that.
On top of Shannon's words of encouragement, Mark also pointed out all the work she's done to shape the group into what it is today.
So Shannon is a very special person, a very special teacher. I've taken yoga for a very long time, over 30 years, and I've been teaching for 10 years, and she's one of the best teachers I've ever encountered because she really connects with people in a way that you just can't teach.
Finally, Shannon shared some wisdom across the globe about what yoga means to her and how its openness to interpretation is what drives the culture.
Yoga means to unite. I like to think that if there's anything that brings you into union with the present moment, that fills your soul, that could be your yoga.
For Mustang News, I'm Keegan Oates.
Shell Beach Yoga meets every Sunday at 5 p.m. off Beach Bomber Drive in Pismo and allows people of all ages to come in and participate in some of the most calming yoga on the Central Coast.
After the break, learn how Cal Poly students are reinventing the wheel.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our every day.
When you think of record-breaking technology, you might think of big-name tech giants. But right here in a campus garage, Cal Poly students are making it their mission to build the most efficient electric car in the world. Reporter Zack in Innamorati has more.
Most electric vehicles are limited by how far they can go on a single charge. But at Cal Poly, the Prove Labs team is building a car designed to drive from here to Seattle without stopping.
We are Prototype Vehicles Laboratory, and our objective is to design, build, and test a fully electric sports car that's designed to drive over 1,000 miles on a single charge, which would break the world record at the time.
Reaching that goal means perfecting every detail. The team spends their Saturdays in the lab installing custom aerodynamic panels and advanced batteries to make the car as efficient as possible.
I joined the club my freshman year, got put on the high voltage team. I learned how to solder, how to crimp wires, how to do circuit analysis. I'm working with high voltages and all these safety procedures. So it was a really good experience.
It's a project that's been over 5 years in the making, and while the world record is the ultimate target, the team hit their biggest milestone yet just this last quarter.
For the first time ever, we drove the car, which is huge. We're looking to finish the car by the end of the year, and by the end of the year, we're gonna have a street-legal, record-breaking car, which is huge, all built by students.
Breaking a world record would be a massive achievement for the team, but for these students, the biggest reward isn't actually the car itself, it's the community that they've built inside this garage.
It's where I've gained some of my best friendships, tackling difficult problems, spending long nights, eating pizza together in the garage. It's indescribable.
For Mustang News, I'm Zack Innamorati.
Keep your eyes peeled. You may be seeing this car on the streets soon.
The city of San Luis Obispo is opening a new $43 million parking structure downtown. Reporter Katy went downtown to find out more.
The Cultural Arts parking structure is set to open on March 17th. Located on Monterey and Napomo, it has roughly 400 spots.
It will offset some loss in on-street parking over the years through development downtown, as well as the street parking in the area that doesn't really serve the need for the surrounding businesses in the cultural arts district.
Businesses in the district, like the Night Creamery, said there was insufficient street and private parking, according to Nelson. Local San Luis Obispo resident Grace Mayhew works downtown and can park in the staff parking lot, but said when it comes to meeting for dinner, it is sometimes difficult to find parking.
Hard to find parking for the local businesses. You see a lot of turnarounds with local businesses that do have brick and mortar places down here. So I think it's hard for a lot of people to try and survive, especially with the rent being so high.
She also said the price of parking is expensive and she thinks they should lower it. Construction began in November 2023. Each level has a sign that shows how many parking spots are available.
Reduces time where vehicles are circulating the structure trying to locate spots to park.
For Mustang News TV, I'm Katy Clark.
In the new parking structure, there are also places to park bikes, something not available in the other structures in SLO. That's all we have for you today. Thanks for tuning in to Mustang News. I'm Aneka Edwards.
And I'm Bunker King. Have a great rest of your day.